Susie and Martin from Gemini Connect here, and we are driving away on a mission and actually have made it to the parking lot at the ferry in Seattle, and we're waiting for our ferry to go across the sea and over to the Olympic Peninsula, where it's a much less visited kind of natural wonderland. It has a rainforest, it has glaciers, it has many bays and beaches and lots of wildlife.
So we rented a Peace van. It's through a company called Peace Vans, and they're located in South Seattle. So we picked up our van yesterday, got like a 30-minute orientation about just its history, how to more or less use it, because it is an older van. I don't remember what year it's from.
1984, which is the same age as me.
So yeah, we're driving an older vehicle, which is a little difficult for us because we have a 3-year-old Subaru Impreza. So yeah, so we're a little bit used to driving modern vehicles, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge, but so far we made it to the ferry.
I thought it will be somewhere between the Subaru we have and a U-Haul, but actually the U-Haul is in between the Subaru and this one, because the U-Haul at least has soft pedals and things like that, and probably has servo, and this thing has no servo. You gotta turn like crazy, press the buttons like crazy. You have to lock every door manually, so that's kind of a...
Yeah, just small things to get used to. But other than that, I mean, the van is older, definitely, but it's been restored really well, nice and clean, really well maintained. And we have a hotline that we can text if we are 24-hour support if we need any help or have any issues. So that's really nice to know.
And it's also stocked with a lot of the things that you would need as a camper or some kind of adventurer. And you are able to more or less just pack the things you want to play with and then get in it and go.
Yeah, the only thing we really needed to bring were sleeping bags. So things to sleep in, and obviously our own clothing. And then we brought a lot of gear because, yeah, we're planning to take a lot of photo and video. So other than that, I mean, we didn't have to bring a whole lot of things. We're not really planning to cook, so we didn't bring a lot of cooking equipment because there is a refrigerator and a stove and some water on board. But again, this is only a long weekend trip, so we didn't bring a whole
cooking
lot.
is doable, but we're not going quite far from civilization. In fact, in our state park where we're sleeping, there's a restaurant that stays open till 10 p.m. and looks quite nice, so we're thinking of taking advantage of that.
We're sort of glamping of sorts. So this is glamping in a van, which I don't know if anyone does that.
But this one is throwback and classic in a way. It is the one that started this lifestyle, not exactly the first model, but one of the earlier models of the Westfalia, and it still goes strong. It's what, 33 years old, this vehicle right now we're sitting in, maybe even 34. And it's able to take us places. We're going in nature with it, and we're pretty excited. Here for another check-in. We had our first night in the van. It was pretty cozy, even though the temperature did drop to like 35. The morning felt quite chilly, but for our first night it was very cozy compared to what I expected. Sleeping was not that hard.
So we should back up a bit. We didn't get here till like after 7 p.m. I think last night, so it was a little bit dark, but the nice thing about having the van is that even if you arrive after dark, you don't have to pitch your tent. So we could just unload everything, set up the bed in the back, and just sleep if we wanted to.
The hardest thing for me is the vertical space, because I'm tall. Without popping the top, it's actually kind of hard to get around there in the back. And the other really hard thing is organizing your stuff, because you have to constantly be moving stuff away from the bed, back onto the bed. And when you have a lot of gear like we do, you start wondering where your stuff is. You also have to secure it because it starts rolling around in the back when you're driving.
Another thing, I guess, is that even though you're in a van, and we're lucky that we had certain things provided for us, you still have to come somewhat prepared. And we maybe push that a little bit in terms of, you know, when you're camping, then you're going to be more meticulous about what you bring because you need more things when you're just out in the woods. In a van, you still have to bring certain things. Like we forgot a knife and headlamp, but luckily we have those provided.
Yes, the Peace Van company is actually pretty smart. They put the things that you probably will miss the most, like toilet paper and knives and
forgot toilet paper.
Headlights. All those were here for us, and we didn't have to worry about that. But there are no snacks yet.
So we'll find them. Furthest point we'll be making on this trip into the Olympic National Forest. We drove for a while on a mountain road and then we parked and picked up a trail by the river and we hiked in for several miles and we reached some campground called Bark Shanty, and people were actually camping there even though there was snow around them. It's actually pretty wet and on the chilly side for sure, but it's pretty beautiful, and all around me is many layers of moss, some snow and rapids, so it's a really scenic place. And we did a lot of media and now we have to go back so we can catch some of this sunset over the sea. Pulled over on the side of the road with our van to look for a waterfall here near Brennan, Washington, in the Dos Wallips area. We were told to find it by a local photographer who was taking photos of the rainbow by the sea yesterday, and we stopped and we talked to him and he told us this is a local secret. And it would be a secret because there's no sign for it whatsoever, so hopefully we find it. We hear the creek or the brook. It's pretty loud, so maybe there is a waterfall here.
it came to us from our foreman in the shop, Ben, grew up on Port Orchard, and it was his best friend's from high school's parents' van, the Bishops. And they still actually follow the van on Facebook, and they always comment when they see renters' pictures of it, and they're an older couple, and they just kind of graduated to a larger RV. They needed like a bathroom, and they were kind of done with the small footprint Vanagon, and it was such a great van. And actually the curtains in it were sewn by Ms. Bishop, Ron and Judy, by Judy Bishop. All of our vans are named for rivers. Your van is named for the Elbow River. You're going to the Hood Canal, so you probably won't cross the Elbow River. But the Elbow is one of my favorite rivers. The dam on it, that I think it was like 8 or 9 years ago, it was the first dam removal project in the lower 48. And it's been miraculous what has happened. The salmon runs have returned. You know, the flow of the river has changed. It's completely flushed sediment down. It's a really remarkable story, the Elbow River. So.